anyone, it's going to be Underwatch.
Absolutely. I have no doubt of that. I think we have seen it before. Mia on the Ana is absolutely devastating. But we are here on Sanctuary. I don't know. Somehow we both predicted Sanctuary, and it does have some beautiful trees, like you're saying, but I was only just noticed them now. But there is this massive drum in the center. And now playing around this drum is pretty crucial to winning this map.
Yeah, it's the smallest King of the Hill control point in the entire game. Very tightly compact, not just in general, but with the huge drum in the middle taking up presence. It's really important to play around the corners, just dance around the edges. So we often see teams kind of fighting outside the mini pagoda, around the point, before actually moving on to cap the point itself. Going to see a lot of action from the Brigidas and Reinhardts controlling these corners in these close corner environments. So looking at Pulse and Busoto, two very smart, very capable Brigitas in this matchup.
Now we will see both teams rushing out of the gates in our grand finals of the NUEL. I'm excited. Are you excited? We're all excited right now. They will be moving towards each other, and there's going to be a clash between the drums right now. Looking for the first kill of the grand finals. In comes the first shield bash from Pulse on the side, trying to go for Dev 2000, but he backs out the way. A quick sidestep will keep him nice and safe, and you see the Discord orb already on Jealous, keeping him nice and friend.
Yeah, Jealous is such a threat in these competitions that he's not. The Discord priority doesn't go on to Callum on the Reinhardt, it goes on to Jealous on Desire. If he gets on the side, Jealous gets a nice click off to get Mia, and now it starts to unwrap.
You see, oh my lord, Zephyr's on pretty much every single, all 5 kills there, which means that he is transferring Discord after Discord, because you don't see that assist unless you've got a specific ability combined in there. So they don't even get the take there, and it will already, with this team pressuring them forward. Now I thought Mia was very good at charging up the Graviton, but look at Jealous, already online at only 15% here, Vals.
Yeah, we're seeing some interesting changes from Underwatch. Wallaby formerly did even moving over to Desire, so a little bit all over the place, but showcasing that flexibility so many of these players have.
And we'll move forward. Callum already receiving that projector barrier, but Viscoto gets taken down by a nice fire strike. Callum moving forward, he's in a bad position. Just get booped out of the way, which will stop Jimbo from finding that really nice charge. Jealous does find Mia, and they'll be pushed off once again. 40% in climbing, they don't even have to use a single ult yet.
Yeah, and that's, just to reiterate, it's crucial they haven't had to use a single ultimate. Pulse is going to build up this rally, and then they're going to be moving into 50% point charge and 6 ultimates on the board. That's a devastating hill to try and climb up for now for Underwatch. So maybe getting a little bit ahead of themselves with some of these serious talks. The main tank and the off tank, the flex support on Desire, a little bit all over the place for Underwatch, and it's showing.
Really is. I think the big thing here is that maybe it's mind games, you never know. They will be in the backline though. Earthshadow drop down as well as this Graviton. Doesn't really find anything as that. There is a sound barrier in there from Underwatch to try and keep them alive, but Jealous, he's in the front line as per usual. Zephyr's though, he has the Discord up top of him, but he doesn't matter. He's just going to keep walking forward in this team. And now Jimbo, he's caught in a precarious situation. And you know what? Staffordshire, they're just bringing the fight to York directly in their spawn.
Maybe it looked a little bit overzealous at some points there with their ultimate usage, but Jealous already has another Graviton, and this is going to be last fight territory as well. Underwatch need to make something happen now.
It's real spicy. Jealous is really turning up the heat right now. Dev 2000 does have this self-destruct, but Mia also got the Graviton line and a really nice positioning there, but it does get eaten up. Both sides eating up once again. Overtime was taken down, almost went off the clock, but just in time. Underwatch stepping on the point. Both teams doing really well, but Jealous very, very happy to drop down the kills the good old-fashioned way with the laser itself. They're on the point. Overtime still ticking away now. It will be Evie. He has the self-destruct online, but doesn't need it. Callum initiates the fire strike, takes him off the point, and 100% to 0. Staffordshire start this one off strong.
And Jealous maybe thanking his lucky stars a little bit that Eastern Graviton ultimately didn't come back to bite them because he was so high charge on Desire, so much extra damage, able to convert the kills anyway, but you can't be too cheeky. You have to respect your opponent. You can't go for those players all the time, and it did get punished. Credit where credit's due to I believe it was Durf previously on that Diva. We are going to see now from Underwatch moving back onto their main roles, so done with the mayhem. Maybe take it a little bit more seriously now.
Yeah, I mean, you just get 100 to 0. But yeah, definitely credit Death 2000. Surprised that he didn't even know that Jealous was around that corner, and the immediate reaction there, despite being so close, he was able to eat it. So hopefully we see something a little bit more, maybe competitive now, Vals.
Absolutely. Both these teams starting to move in. Both have the Lucio speed boost online and just engaging back and forth, trying to build up as much early charge as they can for Desires.
Durf 2000 gets a projected barrier, but he gets popped almost immediately, Valzy will be forced to move away. Mia's a little bit out of position there, does move behind the wall, behind those posters, keeping himself nice and safe. But it'll be Mia finding the D-Mech, and finally, Staffordshire, they'll be forced backwards.
Yeah, great work from Mia, finding that early pick as Evie starts to get a little bit over-aggressive, and then they can start to unravel Staffordshire, punish some of their over-aggression. And there you go, Overwatch. When you actually take the game seriously, when you all play your actual roles, you can definitely bring this series to Yeet. This isn't going to be as decisive as maybe the 4-0 match history between these two teams. Watch, they're going to have the Transcendence online. They've got tools here.
Yeah, they're absolutely going for the bread right now. Let's see if they can heat this week, but there is a nerf shadow in the back line there. Callum, he drops it down, but Transcendence keeps him nice and alive, but Jimbo falling means a lot of this damage is removed from the board. Durf 2000, he responds with a nice fire strike. On top of that, there's a nerf shadow, laying them all bare to the ground. Zephyrs, the Discord Orb, is going to keep him nice and pinned up, and that will be the point going back over to Underwatch.
Yeah, unfortunately early on for Mia, caught round the corner from the Earth Shatter, wasn't there with the high healing to save Jimbo, but ultimately doesn't matter, was able to convert it anyway. And now Jimbo starting to get the Graviton online himself, going to be looking for another combo here between Wallaby and Jimbo with their ultimates. It was so effective in the previous series, we know it's a great tool for them.
Yeah, Graviton is unleashed early. Out comes the self-destruct. He's in a very good position to get that shield out of the way, which he does. Durf 2000, a great job there. There is a sound barrier available. Doesn't have to use it. Once again, Mia. This man is crazy at building this charge. 20% at the beginning of this fight, now up to 70. 80% now will be able to contain this Graviton from Jealous once it does come out.
And it's the mechanical skill from Mia being able to farm up these Transcendences so aggressively because he's getting in so much damage. It's effectively like having free DPS. When in a Goats composition where there are no DPS, you suddenly have one, it can turn the tide of so many fights.
Another one! Wallaby managed to eat Jealous's self to Graviton, not finding any value there. Durf 2000 can do it, so can Wallaby. Down comes the Nerf Shadow. Mia, he's there, the Transcendence, achieving tranquility. And Durf 2000, another lovely 4-man. We'll drop them all down. No kills coming through as of yet, but pretty much all supportive ultimates wasted on the side of Staffordshire. They will fake down Durf 2000. A lot of that space taking Megality will be removed now. Can we, in the back line, looking to get some damage down, but there is Jimbo dropping down that Graviton. It did give them enough time to provide the damage to the team. Out comes the self-struck over the top. Doesn't find anything other than Evie's mech there. And now he will be staggered out. 96%. I don't think anyone's getting back to the point here. I don't think we expected this, but 100 to 16%. Staffordshire, they're looking like they've got them on the ropes.
And maybe it almost is the mind games. Play your off rolls, concede the first round so convincingly that Staffordshire start to get a bit big for the boots. Jealous in particular, maybe being a bit too over-aggressive on Desire, trying to go for the Gravitons so they really shouldn't. That's another eat. Needs to actually be landing these Gravitons and finding value out of them. And just as convincing as the first round was in favor of Yeet, the second round is so convincing in favor of Underwatch. We're all tied up here on Busan, moving into the third round. Winner takes all. And I'd have to say the momentum is on the side of Underwatch right now.
Yeah, they're doing really well. I'm excited to see it. They're not going to lay down and let Staffordshire run all over them. Jealous, yeah, you got to hit your Graviton's forehead.
Both teams going to be rolling out, both maneuvering round towards the high ground on a synergical offensive. Just going to be poking back and forth. See who can get the Gravitons and Earth Shadows up first.
So far, Jealous has been ahead a lot of times when it comes to the Graviton building up. So Durf 2000 has to back off a little bit. A lot of damage going across to him. And really good from Jimbo, stepping in front of his Reinhardt, taking the brunt of that damage and then engaging that self-barrier.
Both teams just rotating back and forth a little bit. Better positioning for Staffordshire right now, and they can drop straight onto point. Underwatch going to be contesting from the high ground, but it means that the first point not quite there for Yeet.
Callum's shield is out of the way now, so as long as they keep Durf 2000 alive, this is going to be free for them. But he does find a really nice charge onto Svensson before he goes down. Can we also boot Callum out of the way? And Underwatch, again, with this lovely take on the first point. Transcendence of S from Zephyrs. This is going to leave it open for Jimbo when he unleashes the next Graviton.
And Durf able to play so aggressively already. Has the new Earth Shadow online. Callum not quite there yet. In fact, there's not going to be any ultimates online from Staffordshire because they invested in Lace Transcendence and Rally. So again, getting a bit big for your boots, investing ultimates when you really shouldn't. Going to give the advantage back over to Underwatch.
And all this armor underneath all the players on the side of Underwatch right now. 5 ultimates available. Really, it is Staffordshire on the back foot right now. Basoto looking to get that shield bash in, but Derp 2000 is in a great position to block it. 2 members go down, Jealous included, and that will be just bashing them back to their spawn. 40% to 0, and once we hit this 50% mark now, Valve, things start to get really dangerous.
And it's a nice dagger onto Pulse just to eat up even more time bank. And you're right, it's starting to look really dangerous for Yeet right now. They're still down in the ultimate economy, maybe starting to make it even as Callum is coming up on the Surf Shadow, but they've got maybe 2 fights left, maybe even 1 if they can't finish this, if this one isn't finished decisively either way. So looking a little bit dire straits for Yeet. They need to find something.
Basoto has had some effective shield bash blocked before. He goes for it, doesn't quite make it, but a nice counter but Shadow there will drop down Jealous, so a lot of that damage is moved out the way, but it's all just about blocking time off the clock right now. 75% to 0. Finally will be Staffordshire reclaiming control of the point, but there's a Graviton available.
And Staffordshire had to use everything. J7 invested a sound barrier so they could go for the second engage there. Jealous using the Graviton. Callum halfway back up to the Earth Shadow. Give them credit. They're going to have this online for the next fight, but they need to be perfect now. They can't afford to drop any more fights.
Yeah, Callum is in the front line, constantly has a Discord orb on top of him. Projected barrier to cleanse that one off for the time being. There's also a rally, but look, Underwatch going for that cheeky flank round, which will force Staffordshire back to the point, but then we're going to make the flip. They go underneath. I don't think they were expecting this. It was the old switcheroo. Now Callum is in a bad position, but a lovely shatter there. The response is great. They will find Basoto and Derf 2000 in the front. The Graviton was invested now, so they are looking very, very shabby on their ultimate economy. Only the rally available with that self-destruct now.
Callum and Evie do fall late. Evie going for the reset so that you can get back in mech, and this does give a slight advantage over to Underwatch here. Staffordshire can't hold as aggressively as they'd like. It's going to be much more even footing by the time everyone gets back online, especially with this rally invested by Basoto.
But Staffordshire, they still retain a lot of armor from that previous fight. Jealous has his Graviton. It's going to have to be big now to stop this team. It's invested so high up. You would have thought Wallaby would be able to eat that one, but there's a nice Transcendence in the way. Self-destruct comes up. The walls should be dropping very soon, but they do not just yet. Jealous has this Discord top on top of him. Masudo's just trying to take him down. He drops up the shield for the time being to keep himself safe, but he will be moving Staffordshire off the point. Zephyrus moves over the left, so he can get out the way, but it will be Camwheat chasing, and he drops off the side of the map. 90% before this team will even get back to the choke.
And it's great work by Underwatch taking initiative with those late staggers, get straight onto the point, force Yeet to contest, and then zone Yeet away so they get split up and they can punish Callum. Evie's going to have the self-structure line, but that's about it. We're going to see someone on Yeet going to touch the point. It's just J7 there on his own, but he needs to be careful not to get staggered.
Basoto is going to be looking for this cheeky bash onto the right knight. You can see him coming from the side. He doesn't need it. Callum drops down the shield. There is a massive Earth Shadow in the way. 99%. It is dropping down. They've got to use everything to stop this self-destruct. Projected barrier onto one of the players. Self-barrier keeps Jimbo alive in this fight. And that Zarya laser is going to be tearing through Evie's mech. Overtime ticks down. No one can take on the point. And Underwatch will take the first map here. This is incredible, Vals. We never expected this.
And that's one way to make a statement. We talked up Staffordshire so much. They've got the history on their side. They've got Jealous and Pulse, 2 incredible Flex DPS players, so much mastery of Desire and the Brigitte. With so many mistakes from Yeet. Comes back to bite them in the end, and Underwatch take pretty decisive, honestly. Maybe not what the map score would have suggested, but it looked so much in control for so much of Busan there, made it a much more competitive